My city's lives in Texas. Oh no, it's so bad. I'm so sorry. Let's begin. And as you can see, we need to continue our American campaign as the United States of America, as American civilization. And first of all, we need to choose our historical victory conditions, so-called victory conditions. So also this modification want to destroy European colonies in North America, build so-called Shining Hill, and also transformation America to global military and economical superpower. It's the most difficult historical condition in this group. Also, guys, it's really interesting for me. Do you understand at least half of my voice content which I recorded for you? I just said before I'm Russian. I'm not English native speaker, so I use it as my foreign language, and perhaps it's really horrible for your ears. So please write me if it's really punishment for you. Of course, I can record it without any voice, any comments, but I think it will be even worse than current version because there is so many. By the way, on YouTube, no comments, down of civilization walkthrough, and I think we need at least one with comments and some proto analytics ideas and messages. Anyway, our main historical goal now is conquer Texas. By the way, in Russian language, in Russian mass culture, American Texas is very popular province of the modern United States. So I, as a victim of these Russian stereotypes, want to conquer this territory. At least there is a lot of arms, a lot of oil resources, and so we have no chance. I'm so sorry, chose, and we need to control Texas and also its natural corridor to Mexican territories. So American troops will fight for this. As a particular plus for me, it's a war between Spain on the one hand and young Mexico on the other hand. I think it's a very good historical opportunity to conquer these lands, and as I can see, they return their own control of this territory. Yes, dear leader of Mexico, we want your territory because it's not yours, it's part of America. By the way, if there is some visitors from the United States or perhaps Canada, what do you think really about Texas? I have read a lot of course, in Russian about this land, and I think it's very untypical American territory. Not the same story like Siberia, for example, in the Russian Federation, but it's really very unique. Not ordinary province like Wyoming, Oklahoma, Florida, North Carolina, etc. So it's really interesting for me, and perhaps it's so-called hidden reason why I want to control these territories of the current United States of America, and my other historical, economical, and other arguments which I just said. It's not more than bullshit. And yes, our battle is begin. Grenadiers of the United States plus artillery plus Minutemen's. It's enough if we fight against weak Mexico. It's not, colonial France or the United Kingdom or the Russia the mother. So modern American army is still good if we need to fight against Latin American countries and other small states in the western part of the Earth. Okay, but what about the next goal for the young American Republic, for the United States? And I think our second step is moving to the western coast. On the one hand, we need at least two cities in this part of America, and I've already had one. Of course, first of all, I think about San Francisco and LA, but also I watched that, for example, artificial intelligence really like to build San Diego or cities in Arizona and Nevada. Perhaps I begin with LA. It's a popular city in, Russian reflection of non-real America, but the United States as a Russian and post-Soviet area see this big country. Plus, it's a really good city port if we need, for example, a strong naval power in the Pacific Ocean. Because if you have plans to conquer, for example, Japan or Polynesia Islands, of course you need some fleet, some power against your enemies, your force, and in these conditions, LA and other cities in the western part of the United States are really super important. What do you think? Is it possible to win as the United States without, for example, cities in the western coast of this country? For example, as you've seen in so-called unique historical conditions, there is no messages about, for example, any cities in the western coast. So technically, we can have three or perhaps four powerful city in the Wild West and eastern part of the America, and technically there is some chance to win. Use these resources without Alaska, By the way, there is some gentlemen's in this video. I need to say you there are some agendas jokes, but only in the Russian version of this video. So perhaps maybe some cartoons which you will see was very uncontextable. You need to know. But our goal is the same. We need to found Los Angeles in the western part of North America, and it will be main American port in the Pacific Ocean. And at the same time, other important story is rapidly developing of the so-called Wild West. We have so many farms, so many wheat, so many corn, and some cows. It's really good if we need a strong Wild West, not just wild plains and hills, but really powerful and industrial wild north is greatest economical boost for the America. Plus, we need to develop its using our great people. great specialist. And on the same time, we have Ruckus, which develop Oregon and Washington territories. It's really important not to ignore developing all the CIFS tiles. Perhaps it's one of the oldest and stable games mechanic. Of course, we don't want any citations like Mother the Russia, which have so many territories and have so many troubles, issues with its developing. It's the United States. It's not Russia or it's not Australia. It's not even Canada. We need to develop our own territories. It's have a lot of bonuses, and we will do that. Also, it's really great pleasure to see that there are population boom in Dallas, main center of Texas. If you remember, there is only one population point some turns ago, but nowadays our station is quite good. We need to remember that economical agenda of the United States is half 75% of the global GDP, but we can use not only American potential but also economical powers of all United States partners. So it's on the other hand not so easy condition, but at the same time we need and we must realize it. So America have a lot of power for that, excluding desert provinces like Montana, Nevada, and perhaps some others. In general, United States have really good territories, good tiles, and by the way, a very powerful so-called civics. And of course, important plus to these abilities is so-called unique historical power, which can magnificate some negative population from other part of this version of Earth map. And yes, we have already Los Angeles, main cities in western part of the current America. So it's the best way how we can finish this episode. You need to know that I have planned to make full American campaign, and on the same time you can visit it YouTube channel and found a lot of Russian episodes. And yes, the main creator of the mod, Mr. Lyric, want to test it some mod sieves. Perhaps you want to vote for some of them. Of course, there are links in my video. And thank you very much for watching this. I'm glad to see you in the future. Bye.